We tried over and over, privately and publicly, reaching out in every way we could, but each time someone else slammed the door shut behind him. Princess Anne, on the 4th of December 2025, didn't hold back. That was the headline-making statement. At a press briefing inside Clarence House this week, her voice was calm, her words deliberate, but the weight of what she was saying hit like a thunderbolt across the palace walls. For the very first time, a senior royal went on record, not just confirming the royal family's persistent, ongoing efforts to reconcile with Prince Harry since the 2021 rupture, but directly pointing an unwavering finger at Meghan Markle, highlighting what she described as a consistent pattern of interference, isolation, and emotional control that shaped Harry's decisions and path. This revelation casts a sharp new light on 4 long years of strange silence, symbolic gestures, half-hearted appearances, and countless missed opportunities. Beneath the glittering surface of royal protocol, polished palace press releases, and carefully staged events, there lies a far more painful story, a family's repeated attempts to bring a beloved son home, and another woman's quiet mission to make sure he never looked back, no matter the cost. This isn't just a family quarrel, it's a royal disintegration unfolding in painfully slow motion. And now, for the very first time, we break it down in 6 parts, 6 years, and one man torn between the love of his life and the world he once called home. Following the explosive Oprah Winfrey interview in March 2021, when Harry and Meghan accused unnamed royals of racism and claimed they were left unprotected, Buckingham Palace issued the now iconic statement, "Recollections may vary." Behind the scenes, that sentence sparked dialogue, not dismissal, as palace aides later confirmed, and Princess Anne echoed publicly. It was Charles, not William, who first tried to reach out. In late April 2021, just days after Prince Philip's funeral, when Harry briefly returned to the UK, the then Prince of Wales wrote a personal handwritten letter sealed with the royal signet and never made public. Its contents, partially revealed later, included a father's plea for truth, accountability, and healing. Anne now says the letter was never answered, believed to have been intercepted or quietly discouraged at the source, though the exact circumstances remain murky. Sources close to the Sussex circle deny this claim, but insiders note that Meghan was reportedly deeply unhappy with how quickly the palace tried to open private channels, especially without involving her directly. By mid-2021, communication between Harry and senior royals had nearly collapsed. William attempted to arrange a Zoom call with cousins, George, Charlotte, and Archie, for Prince George's birthday. The call was scheduled twice and cancelled both times. Archie reportedly never even saw the screen. Later that summer, Princess Catherine mailed a handwritten note to Meghan, hoping to clear the air after the now infamous bridesmaid dress incident. Sent via trusted courier, it included a family photo and an invitation to a private retreat at Balmoral with the children. The note went unacknowledged. Meanwhile, Harry appeared increasingly isolated in public, always representing Archie, never the crown. The monarchy continued to call him a beloved family member, but Meghan frequently used phrases like "our independent life" and "our truth" in every press opportunity, amplifying the sense of separation. Anne recalls that right after Philip's funeral, there was a fleeting moment when the family thought Harry might come back in some form, but then the walls hardened, and the harder they tried to reach in, the stronger the barriers became through 2022. The royal family made multiple goodwill gestures. Charles offered a security package, paid from his duchy income for Sussex family visits. William personally invited Harry to the unveiling of Princess Diana's statue in July 2022. Catherine arranged a private gift exchange for Archie and Lilette, sending a signed children's riding manual to Harry's California address for Archie's birthday. Every single action was met with polite public deflection or total radio silence. Not once did the royal family strip Harry of his titles or status. His place in the line of succession remained untouched. The palace maintained a consistent tone of open doors, but behind those doors, grief, betrayal, and bewilderment simmered. "It's not that we blame Harry," Anne said, "but we began to see he wasn't making his own choices anymore. Or if he was, it was through a lens none of us could comprehend." By 2023, the tone shifted further. the Sussex Netflix docuseries aired worldwide. While framed publicly as a love story, the underlying narrative cast the royal family as cold, transactional, and even sinister. Officially, the palace stayed silent, but behind closed doors, Anne and William were furious. Anne warned Charles, "Every time we turn the other cheek, we embolden the hand that slaps it still." Charles remained committed to a peaceful approach. In May 2023, Harry was invited alone to his father's coronation. Meghan refused to attend. Harry showed up, stayed less than 30 hours, and left before the family luncheon. Reports indicate he stayed in a private suite near Windsor, never at Frogmore, never at Clarence House, and crucially, he did not dine with his father or brother even once. His public appearances exposed the fracture: stiff hugs, downward glances, eyes constantly scanning the crowd, not for the press, but for someone else. He often looked like a soldier returning to foreign soil. By contrast, when photographed alongside Meghan in California, he appeared relaxed, animated, almost rehearsed, a man comfortable in a world separated from the one he left behind. It was this duality that Anne finally spoke about. "We've watched Harry disappear, not physically, but psychologically, and we've begged him again and again, come home, just you. No titles, no cameras, no expectations. Just come home as our Harry." He hasn't. Or perhaps he can't. It was Christmas 2022. Windsor Castle glowed under frost-laced garlands. Inside the gilded halls, 3 generations of royals gathered around the newly restored red cedar tree from Balmoral. The king had just delivered his first televised Christmas speech, quietly toasting to peace among all sons of this realm. Yet there was one glaring absence. Prince Harry had been invited. He never responded. That silence, now confirmed by senior palace aides and reinforced by Princess Anne's December 2025 statement, was not the family's failure. As Anne put it, it was another door. Meghan made sure it stayed firmly closed. Much of public attention in 2022 had shifted toward Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee and her eventual passing in September. But behind the scenes, Charles was quietly preparing for his reign, hoping to include both sons in the historic transition. In February 2022, then Prince Charles discreetly reached out through a third-party mediator, rumoured to be mutual friend Mark Dyer, to arrange a reconciliation summit on neutral ground in Geneva. Meghan, however, refused to allow Harry to attend alone. The meeting was scrapped. Still, in April, William made a rare personal move. He sent a digital photo book of Diana's unseen home pictures to Harry, hoping to spark brotherly nostalgia. It was returned, unopened, in August. When Harry and Meghan did attend the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in June 2022, the seating arrangement told the full story. They were placed not on the Buckingham Palace balcony, but deep inside the second row at St. Paul's Cathedral. Royal protocol, partly self-imposed isolation, entirely evident. Meghan allegedly refused to join Catherine in the green room before the ceremony and declined a joint photo of the cousins, George, Charlotte, Louis and Archie. According to one senior courtier, there was a clear opportunity to show the world a united front for the next generation of royal children. Together, Meghan said no. No media circus, she insisted. But that photo could have healed the narrative. Anne's candid assessment last week was sharper still. That moment could have reminded Harry what family truly meant. Instead, someone chose to deepen the fracture. By early 2023, the royal family shifted its posture. What began as gentle outreach was morphing into cautious withdrawal. Meghan's podcast, Archetypes, had aired its season finale, which subtly critiqued rigid institutions and toxic family cycles. Names weren't mentioned, but insiders say one episode closely mirrored a private conversation Meghan once had with Catherine, twisted out of context and re-scripted for public consumption. In March 2023, Catherine underwent a minor medical procedure, receiving dozens of global well-wishes. Meghan, rather than reach out privately, publicly told an interviewer she was just learning about it like everyone else. Palace officials confirmed that Meghan had, in fact, received a confidential update 2 days prior, along with an invitation to send a personal message to Catherine. She never did. Then came the coronation. Harry attended solo on May 6, 2023. He wore a morning suit, not full military regalia, and left the ceremony without attending the private reception at Windsor, flying back to Montecito within hours. Anne described it as watching a ghost. He was present, but absent in every meaningful way. Between 2021 and 2024, the royal family extended numerous symbolic offers. Catherine included Lilibet's name in her charity, the Children's Garden Wall, in 2023. William proposed a joint mental health campaign with Harry, modelled on their earlier Heads Together initiative. Charles set aside a suite at Highgrove House for the Sussex during UK visits. The Queen, in her final year, sent Archie a rare first edition of Winnie the Pooh with a handwritten tag, "To our brave adventurer." None of these gestures were publicly acknowledged by Meghan. Most were quietly returned or ignored. Even the Queen's funeral in September 2022 was marked by division. Meghan arrived late to the family procession, reportedly due to a last-minute wardrobe dispute. Harry stood apart from William and Anne throughout most of the services. Anne now says that week something broke, but still, no one shut him out. The family began to understand he wasn't being pulled away. He was choosing not to return. The rest of 2023 and early 2024 saw an escalation of what royal historians now call emotional attrition. Meghan launched a Netflix book club partnership centering on freedom from legacy burdens. One featured title included a thinly veiled fictional story about a woman silenced by her husband's royal family. Meanwhile, Harry gave increasingly cautious interviews, each more measured than the last. Those close to the crown observed a pattern. Whenever Harry edged closer to reconciliation, like his unannounced June 2023 visit to London for the Invictus Planning Committee, Meghan's presence in the press spiked, as if resetting the narrative. Palace insiders now call this the shadow shift. Every time the family reached out, Meghan's orbit seemed to realign Harry's trajectory away. In the quiet corners of Windsor Palace, beneath locked drawers and behind sealed envelopes, rests the truth, rarely seen. Princess Catherine never stopped writing to Harry from late 2021 through 2024. The Princess of Wales made deeply personal efforts, not through public gestures or palace edicts, but via handwritten letters. The world saw the rift, but Catherine saw the brother. Each letter went unanswered. According to a senior palace aide, most never even reached Harry. Beginning in November 2021, weeks after the Oprah interview shocked the monarchy, Catherine drafted short, handwritten notes to Harry. The tone, insiders say, was not defensive. It was sorrowful, reflective, protective. She reminded him of Diana's words, how the two brothers had once joked in the back of the Range Rover and would tell him, "We are still your family. Come back, not for the crown, but for yourself." Sources confirm at least 8 letters were sent in 2022 alone, yet only 2 were confirmed delivered, neither signed by Harry. Palace communications quietly confirmed what had long been suspected. Meghan, acting as Harry's de facto gatekeeper, increasingly controlled all inbound correspondence. A former staffer from their royal team, speaking anonymously, stated it wasn't spam filters, it was deliberate. Anything marked with a royal crest or UK return address was archived. Meghan called it emotional contamination. This filtering extended to invitations to private christenings of royal cousins, birthday cards for Archie from William and Catherine, and even a personal video message from Charles for Lilibet's first birthday filmed at Clarence House. Each rejection deepened the palace's awareness that reconciliation was being intercepted, not ignored. Between 2022 and 2024, Harry's public appearances became increasingly conflicted. His 2023 memoir, Spare, painted a complex picture, harsh critiques of William and Charles, yet conspicuously muted commentary on Catherine. Insiders now believe this was intentional. Harry still holds Catherine in a unique place in his heart. A former Kensington aide noted he couldn't vilify her, but he also couldn't fight for her. At the 2023 Invictus Games in Dusseldorf, Harry was visibly emotional. During the closing ceremony, Catherine had reportedly sent a private congratulatory letter via secure channel, showing once more that even across distance and silence, some ties remained unbroken. A royal courier later discovered that the package was never picked up at the Montecito post office. In 2024, King Charles authorized a sealed invitation for Harry to join the royal delegation to the UN Climate Summit in Nairobi. It would have been his first public family engagement in over 4 years. The offer was politely declined. William, meanwhile, sought smaller but meaningful acts of reconciliation. In spring 2024, he quietly sent Archie a vintage wooden puzzle that once belonged to their mother, Princess Diana. Meghan's publicist responded 3 weeks later with a single line: "The Sussex children are being raised with new traditions." To Anne, that response was more than a rejection. It was a final insult. It wasn't just a rejection, Anne declared during her December 2025 statement. It was a rewriting of lineage. No moment, she said, symbolized Meghan's intentions more sharply than the now infamous 2018 bridesmaid dress fitting for Princess Charlotte, dismissed at the time as tears over tailoring. Anne now claims it was a calculated humiliation of Catherine. According to royal staff, Meghan allegedly refused all suggested alterations, demanded her personal tailor be flown in, and made a pointed comment in front of Charlotte. "She'll be the only girl not in bespoke, but if that's what you want her to remember," Catherine reportedly wept in private afterward. Harry sided with Meghan. Anne, in her 2025 address, minced no words. It wasn't about fashion. It was a preview of how far Meghan could push and how loyal Harry would remain. "A door was always open to Harry," Princess Anne said clearly in her December 3, 2025 remarks. "But someone kept closing it when we weren't looking." Those words, calm yet charged with years of restraint, reshaped the public understanding of the royal family's efforts to bring Harry back, not merely as a duke or public figure, but as a son, brother, and uncle. Behind closed palace doors and beneath the stiff silence of protocol, a slow, emotional campaign had been unfolding since 2021. It was delicate, it was personal, and it was repeatedly undermined, not by Harry, but by what now appears to have been calculated interference from Meghan Markle. From the final days of 2021 until mid-2024, Princess Catherine quietly sent over a dozen handwritten letters to Harry, never on official stationery. Not through royal couriers. These were private, deeply personal notes. Some slipped into holiday parcels for Archie. Others were sent to Los Angeles through trusted intermediaries. In one letter dated January 2022, Catherine wrote, "We all need air to breathe, Harry, but we also need roots. Don't forget where you grew." Sources confirmed that at least 7 of these letters never reached Harry. A Kensington Palace insider revealed that correspondence was marked, returned, or redirected by an external representative of the Sussex household. Catherine's tone, according to her circle, was always soft, never reproachful, always hopeful. She wasn't trying to win him back to the firm. She was trying to win him back to his own blood. The years 2022 to 2024 were pivotal for royal continuity. The Platinum Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022, the memorial of Prince Philip in 2023, the coronation of King Charles III in May 2023. Harry was invited to each event. His participation was consistently shortened, strained, or absent. Most devastating was the coronation, his father's crowning moment. Harry arrived alone, seated in the 3rd row, and left within 24 hours. Royal staff say Meghan's refusal to attend was strategic, not personal. She believed that Harry showing up without her weakened their brand. "You're not a prince anymore. You're a husband first," she allegedly told a confidant. In the weeks that followed, private efforts continued. Charles invited Harry to spend a weekend at Balmoral in July 2023, which Meghan reportedly vetoed. Unlike William and Anne, King Charles played a quieter hand. His overtures often came as symbolic gestures. A 2022 birthday tribute posted on Clarence House's official page featuring childhood photos of Harry, a 2023 private offer for Harry to take on a non-working royal role in climate advocacy, declined. A personal video message for Lilibet's birthday, never publicly acknowledged. The king, known for his sensitivity beneath layers of pomp, was said to be devastated that the video went unanswered. Charles expected no fanfare. He just wanted connection. Lilibet watched it. For Prince William, the emotional toll was heavier. His anger toward Harry wasn't about titles, it was about betrayal. And yet, even in anger, gestures of brotherhood persisted. In March 2024, William arranged for Archie to receive a vintage jigsaw puzzle once owned by Princess Diana with a simple, heartfelt note, "Something from her to you. Some pieces never get lost." 3 weeks later, the gift was returned, unopened. Anne framed this as not just rejection, but an affront to memory itself. New information from former Montecito staffers and leaked documents makes it increasingly clear that Meghan exerted more than emotional influence. She strategically cut off avenues of communication. A former ARCOL employee, speaking anonymously, confirmed that there was a deliberate decision to block direct contact from UK-based family. Meghan called it protecting Harry's peace, but she filtered more than emails. She filtered empathy. This extended beyond letters. Video calls were missed, invitations to private family events were misplaced, responses to royal gestures were carefully crafted by PR teams, not Harry himself. No single event revealed Meghan's intentions more than the 2018 bridesmaid dress fitting. What the world called Teargate, once seen as a spat over fabric, now appears as a test of dominance. Meghan allegedly rejected royal tailor suggestions, insisted Charlotte wear an unaltered dress, and made a biting remark about real princesses handling real stress. Catherine cried. Meghan leaked the story. Harry sided with her. Anne, in her 2025 statement, was blunt. That wasn't a misunderstanding. That was a maneuver. "We can forgive many things," Princess Anne said during a solemn address at Windsor Castle on October 28, 2025. "We cannot reconcile with silence when it is used as a weapon." That single sentence reverberated across the palace and beyond. It was not just frustration, it was a declaration. After years of restraint and private overtures, by mid-2024, internal palace memos no longer referred to the Sussexes as extended family, instead using the term detached lineage. While King Charles still hoped for unity, his actions became pragmatic. William began preparing for what insiders now call the permanent restructure, a future without Harry. Charles arranged a private New Year's gathering at Balmoral in January 2024. Prince Edward, Sophie, William, Catherine and the children were invited. A separate suite was refurbished for Harry, complete with childhood memorabilia, ready if he chose to return. The king himself wrote a short, trembling note, his handwriting still shaky from winter illness. "I miss your laugh, Harry. Come home. Come as you are." The invitation went unanswered. One source inside Clarence House revealed that Meghan had intercepted the correspondence, reportedly telling aides that Balmoral was a trap disguised as nostalgia. Days later, Harry posted a video promoting a new Archwell wellness campaign. The timing was read by the palace as deliberate, coming immediately after the failed Balmoral attempt. William tried something unusual. He called Harry directly on March 9th, the day before the 3rd anniversary of their last face-to-face conversation outside of formal events. The call went straight to voicemail. He left a follow-up message asking to meet, man to man, without press or protocol. No reply came. What followed was the infamous Windsor Freeze memo, drafted in April 2024 and never made public. Verified by sources close to the Lord Chamberlain's office, it outlined 3 critical shifts. No further personal invitations to be sent directly to Harry without formal channel approval. Budget reallocation removing contingency planning for Sussex involvement in state or family events. And a symbolic transfer of Diana's sapphire brooch, long reserved for Harry's daughter Lily, to Princess Charlotte. This decision was deeply personal. William, who had once vowed to preserve that brooch for Lily, made the change with Catherine's support. "We waited 3 years for a family that never looked back," a Kensington aide told The Times. The Buckingham Palace Spring Garden Party on May 17, 2024, marked a clear shift in royal optics. For the first time, Charles appeared in public without a single reference to the Sussexes in his speech, instead praising resilient unity and unshaken loyalty. Insiders believed the praise was veiled acknowledgement of William and Anne, yet it was Catherine who quietly made headlines. She wore a pale blue coat dress, adorned with a delicate diamond and aquamarine brooch, previously unseen in public. The piece had been gifted by Queen Elizabeth II to Diana in 1995 and kept locked away since her death. Its sudden appearance was no accident. It symbolised heritage and continuity, passed to Catherine and the next generation. Harry was skipped. "It wasn't spite," a royal stylist said. "It was a message." Throughout the summer, major family events passed without Harry. June 14th, Prince George's graduation from St Thomas. July 29th, a private memorial for Queen Elizabeth at Sandringham. September 5th, Lady Louise Windsor's engagement party. Each event had a chair left symbolically empty, subtle but intentional. The Sussexes neither attended nor acknowledged these moments. Meghan continued her podcast tour, carefully framing herself as a victim of multi-generational control. Her words skirted direct accusation, but invited speculation. In a now-deleted August 2024 episode, she said, "Healing doesn't always mean returning to the place you were hurt. Sometimes it means walking away while they still expect you to crawl back." The most painful moment came quietly. In October 2024, Catherine underwent emergency surgery for early-stage cervical cancer, news kept secret until early 2025. The palace shared details only with immediate family. Anne reportedly called Harry herself. It rang twice, then voicemail. Meghan responded through Archwell PR. "We send general well wishes to anyone experiencing health challenges." No name, no personal acknowledgement. The coldness shocked even long-time Sussex supporters. One former royal press officer recalled, "That was the moment we knew Meghan had drawn a hard line." Harry, according to palace insiders, never followed up and later told confidants it was a wound Catherine bore quietly, alone. By early 2025, the narrative the Sussex once controlled began slipping. Public sentiment, once sympathetic to Harry's desire for independence, shifted. Headlines, once dominated by royal rejection, now questioned him directly. Why hadn't Harry returned? Why was Meghan's response so impersonal during Catherine's illness? Why did the royal family always reach out first? The release of the controversial documentary Lines of Loyalty on February 1, 2025, accelerated this shift. Intended to frame Harry's journey through therapy and healing, it unintentionally reignited debate. Archival footage showing William emotionally supporting Harry at Princess Diana's memorial contrasted sharply with present-day silence. One voice stood out, Princess Anne's. "Loyalty is proven when it's inconvenient," she said, clipped and unflinching. "We've all been hurt. We've all been misunderstood. But Harry was not cast out. He walked." Her brief, unscripted comment went viral within 24 hours, trending globally. British tabloids, which had tread lightly on Sussex matters, began drawing harder lines. The Telegraph published Meghan and the Art of Control Distance. Daily Mail highlighted 3 years of outreach, 3 years of silence. The Guardian asked, "What Catherine's silence reveals about royal pain." Talk shows and royal podcasts exploded, even neutral observers questioning the imbalance. Why had King Charles extended 6 separate invitations since 2021? Christmas, Easter, Jubilee, only to be rebuffed or ignored. Royal commentator Hugo Andrews summarised it sharply on BBC One. "Forgiveness is not infinite. Eventually, it becomes foolish." In March 2025, Archwell launched a digital campaign titled "Boundaries Are Royal," reframing the Sussexes' distance as self-protection. The backlash was swift. Royal historian Dr. Althea Morgan posted a critique. "Boundaries are not a refusal. Boundaries are not absent. Boundaries are not pretending. You never had a family." Public donations to Arch reportedly dropped 38% in Q1 2025. Meghan's speaking fee for a global summit was quietly reduced. Vogue UK pulled a cover story portraying her solitude sympathetically. Meanwhile, Catherine made her first public appearance since surgery, holding Princess Charlotte's hand, wearing a simple grey dress. No words, no statements, just presence. It was enough. One viral tweet read, "She never clapped back, she never pointed fingers, and yet we understand everything. That's power." On December 2, 2025, beneath the frost-covered arches of Windsor Chapel after the remembrance ceremony, Princess Anne made her most definitive statement yet. "We have bent. We have waited. We have tried. But we cannot keep calling out to someone who no longer listens." Her voice was quiet, resolute, free of bitterness or blame, finality itself. In that moment, something shifted. The royal family had made peace with rejection, but in public consciousness, the story was no longer estrangement. It had become a portrait of choice. From the Queen's death in 2022 to Catherine's cancer battle in 2024, Harry had been given opportunity after opportunity. William reached out with handwritten letters. Charles extended standing invitations to Balmoral every summer. Even Camilla arranged private reconciliation sessions in late 2023, all cancelled by Meghan's legal team over privacy concerns. None of it worked. Yet Harry had not completely closed the door. He still kept Diana's sapphire cufflinks. He still answered Charlotte's birthday calls. He still sent a personal note to Catherine in June 2025, a simple unsigned card reading, "You are always Grace. I hope you are well." The palace never leaked it, but Anne knew that door remained ajar. "Eventually," she said, "it may not be our choice to close it. Time does that for us." As 2025 ends, the monarchy stands resolved. Forgiveness was offered. Patience extended. Healing requires participation. Now, the silence is no longer theirs to break. Thank you for reading this 6-part special report. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Has Harry gone too far, or is there still a way back?